When is the year is going to start? From the April and ends in the month of March. April to March. In April, how many days are there? 30 days. So I was in India for 30 days during April. During 7 preceding previous year, my stay in India, if it is more than 730 days, I have satisfied this condition. What is my first basic condition? Says 2022-23. How many days will be there? 2022-23, 365 days. Warm welcome to 5th Sem B.Ba student. The subject we are discussing Income Tax 1 and the Unit 2 Residential Status and Incidence of Tax. In our previous session, we learned about the meaning of resident, ordinarily resident, not ordinarily resident and non-resident. If I want to become a resident, if the income tax law is calling me as a resident, so then what are the conditions were there? And if I satisfy the basic condition, they're going to call me as a resident. If it doesn't satisfy any of the basic condition laid down by Income Tax Act, then they're going to call me as a non-resident. In today's session, we are going to solve some problems on determination of resident status. I am Professor Rajesh L.R. from Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Today's session, as we said that when we are going to discuss about the problems. In our previous session, we have discussed clearly about resident, ordinary resident and not ordinarily resident and non-resident. And basic condition, there were 2 basic condition, 2 additional condition. If I satisfy 1 basic and 1 additional condition, they're going to call me as a not ordinary resident. If I've satisfied 2 basic condition, 2 additional condition, then they're going to call me as a resident, ordinary resident. If I doesn't satisfy basic condition, they were calling me as a non-resident. So this is the thing what we have discussed in our previous session. Problem number 1. I'm Mr. Ram Kumar. My citizenship is India. I'm a citizen of India. I left India for the first time. On 5th October 2022 and I went to Australia on official work. And I've returned back to India on 2nd January 2023 after completion of my work. And thereafterwards, I stayed in India during previous year. So they are saying that when given a clear-cut information, they want to know what is my residential status for 2022-23. So how to calculate or how to determine the residential status of Ram Kumar. I'm Ram Kumar here. I left India. Say, first we have to write here name of the assessee, Mr. Ram Kumar. I'm Ram Kumar. When I left India for the first time left India on official work, went to Australia. When I left India on 5th October 2022. When I left India, 5th October 2022. And when I returned back to India, that is on 2nd January 2023. Write all the 4 points. First, write the name of the assessee, whether he left for the first time. When he left the first time, India, write the date and when he returned back. When I left India and when I've returned back to India, write both the dates. Then, see here, this is how you have to solve the problem here. During previous year, our present previous year is 22-23. During previous year 2022-23, we have 365 days. So now, it starts from 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023. When is the year is going to start? From the April and ends in the month of March. April to March. In April, how many days are there? 30 days. So I was in India for 30 days during April. Because I left India on 5th October. So in the April, I was in India. In May, 31 days, I was in India. June, I was in India for 30 days. July, 31 days. August, 31 days. September, 30 days. So, I was in India April, May, June, July, August, September. When I left India on 5th, so then in October, I was in India for 4 days because I left on from 5th October till my returning back to India. That is, in the month of November, I was not in India, 0. In the month of December, 0. In the month of January, when I returned, 2nd January. So in January, we have 31 days. So leave 1st January, count from 2nd January 2023 to 31st January 2023. So it will be 30 days. So in the month of January, I stayed in India 30 days. Thereafterwards, I was in India. So 28 days and 31. So totally 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 183, 183, 187, 217, 225, 245, so 276. So I've stayed in India during previous year 276 days. So then I've satisfied my first basic condition. I've satisfied my first basic condition by staying in India for a period of 276 days. What is the basic condition we have here? Stay in India for 182 days or more during previous year. My stay is 276 days. So then I've satisfied the first basic condition. What is second basic condition? If I've satisfied that one, first basic condition, automatically they're going to call me as a resident, and I've left India for the first time on 5th October 2022. Automatically, I've satisfied second basic condition also. So what is the solution? What is the basic condition we have here? Stay in India for a period of 182 days or more during previous year. So I've satisfied my first basic condition. What is second one? I left India for the first time. So during previous year, my stay was 276 days. It should be 60. So I've satisfied. So I left India for the first time during previous year means before that, all the 4 years I was in India. So I've satisfied my second basic condition also. What is the additional condition we have here? Stay in India for a period of 730 days or more during 7 preceding previous year. They're saying that one, during 7 preceding previous year, my stay in India, if it is more than 730 days, I've satisfied this condition. I left India for the first time on 5th October 2022 means before that, I was in India only. So where I'm satisfying both the additional condition. So I satisfied both basic condition and I've satisfied both additional condition. I've satisfied both basic condition. I've satisfied both additional condition. That is nothing but my status. I've satisfied both basic condition and addition. Therefore, my status during previous year will be resident, ordinary resident. I'm a resident, ordinary resident as per Income Tax Act 1961 for particular year. Means for 2022-23, my status is called as resident, ordinarily resident. This is how we have to determine residency status of any individual. This is how we are going to determine. So understand the concept perfectly. When I left India on 5th October 2022 for the first time, then it says that when I'm leaving first time during previous year, preceding previous years, I was in India only. So there is no need to calculate those information. So we can understand those concepts and we can write it easily. If my stay in India is less than 182 days, then I have to calculate second one. If it is more than 182 days, automatically I have satisfied first as well as second basic condition also. And even I have satisfied both the additional conditions in this particular case. Now, let us go to the second problem. I'm Mr. Naveen, citizen of India, left India for the first time on 25th December 2022 and went to Australia on official work. And I'm returning back to India on 12th February 2023. Thereafterwards, I was in India. Determine the status for 2022-23. So now, here, what is the first thing I have to write here? Name of the assessee. Name of the assessee. Name of the assessee will be here Mr. Navin. Mr. Navin. Next, I have to write here my previous year. Current previous year is 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023. Right? And then I have to write here first time left India. First time left India during previous year 22-23. Next, date of leaving India. Date of leaving India. When I left India on 25th December 2022. When I returned back to India, date of returning back to India. Date of returning back to India was 12th February 2023. Say up to 25th December, I was in India. From 25th December till 11th February, I was not in India, I was in Australia. So now we have to determine the residential status. What is my first basic condition? Says 2022-23. How many days will be there? 2022-23, 365 days. How to calculate whether I've stayed in India for 365 days or not? When I left India on 25th December, left India. When I returned back on 12th February. So now, when I left in the month of December. So, in the month of April, I was in India. In the month of May, I was in India. In the month of June, I was in India. July, I was in India. August, I was in India. September, I was in India. October, I was in India. November, I was in India. December, when I left 25th. So, up to 24th of December, I was in India. January, I was not in India. When I returned on 12th February up to 11th, I was not in India. Means from 12th February to 28th February. So it will be 17 days. So 17 days I was in India and 31 days in the month of March. Now 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. So it will be totally 183 days here. 30, 60, 80, 90, 120, 127, 128, 132, 133. So 183 plus 133. 6, 11, 1 carry, 316. 316 days. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 260, 270, 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 8, 16. So 316 days I was in India. So during previous year, that is from 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023, my stay in India was 316 days. So what is the condition, basic condition we had? I should be in India for 180 days or more. So I'm satisfied my first basic condition. And when I left India for the first time, I left India on 25th December. It indicates that I was in India preceding previous year. That is nothing but preceding previous year. Whatever the preceding previous year we had here, that is nothing but 10 preceding previous year. I'll write it here. 20, 21, 22. 20, 21, 19, 20, 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 17, 15, 16, 14, 15, 13, 14, and 12, 13. In this 10 years, I was in India. So when I stayed in India, all the 10 preceding previous year, so then I've satisfied basic condition. So my status will be a resident. And what is the second basic condition we had? 60 days and 365 days in 4. Say in this 4 years, I was in India. So I satisfied second basic condition. What is the third additional condition? First we had here, additional condition first one, 730 days. During 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the 7, it should 730 days, but I've stayed in India for all the 7 years, so I've satisfied first additional condition. Second additional condition, my status should be resident out of 10 preceding previous year, so I was a resident for all the 10 years, so I've satisfied my second additional condition also. So my stay in India for a period of 182 days or more during previous year, I've stayed in India 316 days, so I've satisfied my first basic condition. I left India for the first time, so during previous year it is above 60, so I've satisfied, and 365 days I was in India, so I've satisfied my basic condition. And additional condition 730 days, as I said you people here, 7 years I was in India, so automatically I've satisfied my first additional condition. Even I've satisfied my second additional condition, that I was in India and all the 10 years my residential status, all the 10 years my residential status is resident. So therefore I've satisfied my second additional condition. I've satisfied both basic condition and both additional condition. So then my status will be resident, ordinary resident. So what I have to write here? Mr. Naveen satisfies both basic condition and additional condition during previous year 2022-23. Therefore his status will be resident, ordinary resident. So say if I satisfy both additional condition and both basic conditions, so then they're going to call me as a resident, ordinary resident. This is how you have to calculate. Go through the problem properly, understand that one, and then solve. It is very easy, and even you can score marks if you're going to get in the semester examination. In the next session, we're going to discuss with more problems which helps you people to understand in a better way. In today's session, we learned how to determine the residential status of an individual. So go through this session problems, whatever it is there, understand those concepts easily. We have explained you people. If you have any queries, you can get back. Thank you and namaste to all our BBA students.